First game's gonna be on Mega Random. That was the last map that was left, picked of the last two. If Bees loses that game, they'll end up on Black Forest. If Oz loses that game, they will end up on Yucatan for the second game. Interesting to see Arabia and Arena being banned first for Oz there. Nomad was the first ban for Mason. For Bees, the first two bans, by the way, are the first two actions of the draft. So you ban a map, you get at least one map like veto before anybody is able to pick anything, which should be Nomad and Arabia. Okay, we're here on Mega Random with Bees get degrees in the
Double
blue,
horse for the scout.
playing as the Japanese, and Ozzglaux in the gray as the Teutons. And indeed, Mega Random has given us another gift. Pete Psychers in the chat, this is a great series. I'm so glad to hear it. I'm happy we can see it now. Double horse scouts. And players, wait, where are... Looks like Bees may not quite have noticed both horse scouts yet. It's a bit of a weird turn, as with many things on Mega Random. This map also pretty interesting. Trees all along the edge, on the top, on the, I guess, northwest and southeast. And then just like some hills in the middle, kind of a mountain range situation. Gold scattered, lots of, actually so much gold piles scattered around. Especially like this area. Good grief. Bunch over here. Some little tiny wood lines. Otherwise, kind of sad little wood lines besides the ones on the edges. Gonna be fun to see how players deal with that. A little bit of insider info. Bees has found his second scout now. This is actually a remake. The first time they loaded up Mega Random, they got a 2 town center start and they thought it was a bug. It's not, but understandable that they would just restart that. They both agreed. We're just gonna remake it. A little too crazy for us. Ozzglaux says Mega Random, like Lalso Random. But lots of sheep on this generation. These horses gonna be able to collect all of those, scout around, snag all that up. Sheep, berries, no boar, and looks like pretty standard deer. Maybe one extra deer pack per player. Hard to say. Is there? No, there's just one neutral deer pack, I think, and then one for each. It's just extremely Bees favored. Right? Am I blind? Yeah, no.
No, I think you're.
I mean, I don't think they're really gonna take the deer, but it's just nice to look at, I guess. Civs here. We got ourselves the Japanese. I think this is one of the fan favorites. No water, so no fishing ship HP bonuses or anything like that. Japanese are still able to use their cheaper lumber camps and mining camps bonus, so they'll have a little bit extra wood floating to be able to do a few more things with, like houses and military buildings and DCs and what have you. There really helps out in the early game if you want to do any kind of flexible build. And ultimately, Japanese, at least, I mean, okay, so the latest patch, another change introduced is Japanese cav archers have a bonus against, I think, all archer units, something like that. They gained a pretty significant bonus in damage, so they play even well into skirmishers fairly well. Could see some Japanese cav archers in castle, early imp, something like that. Or maybe it's just infantry. They are a well-known infantry civ after all with their faster attacking militia line. On the other side, the Teutons, I think Oz has picked the Teutons a couple times. Didn't he pick them against Arduous? Pretty sure that was the matchup there. You can garrison more villages in your towers, so building towers, tower rushing, tower defense, very strong with the Teutons. You basically always win a tower war. And man, I don't remember the Teuton eco bonus, if there is one. There's got to be one.
Let's look it up.
My co
I'm sure there is. I mean, there has to be.
Yeah, right. A rare Civ that doesn't get an eco bonus. Also, they have the Teutonic Knight, and they have very strong castles. You can research the unique tech crenellations to increase the amount of arrows fired from the castles when garrisoned, I believe.
I will say,
also increases the range, so they beat Dromans, for example.
Okay. Towers can garrison twice as many. Farms are 40% cheaper.
Cheaper farms. That's actually huge. 40%. So that would be like
a pretty big bonus.
25 gold.
Makes sense with how much food you're gonna be dumping into the knights.
That's not. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do math. Why am I doing that? Yeah. Teutons are commonly knight civ, right? They have their Teutonic knights, but
also not gonna lie,
very slow.
Teutons kind of a Chad move to pick them.
Yeah, I think if you could call any civ in the game a Chad civ, it'd probably be the Teutons. Maybe the Romans. I don't know.
Maybe the Romans, but you have to pay for those, so I feel more.
Yeah. Oz clicking up to feudal age already. I would say Oz a little bit favored in this matchup just based on practice time, amount of time spent in game recently. I think Beast has been very busy for work and for this last year. He's had huge projects going on or whatnot. So we'll see if he's able to scrape the rust off. We always have to mention a little bit of rust here and there for some of our players. But there's definitely skill underlying that. Last year, Bees actually was the winner of the King of the Losers final. Grand final, so he's like the champion of the second bracket, I guess. Pretty impressive performance for him there. At least we saw a great, he had a really fun journey of improving over the last year's tournament. It was fun to watch. VODs are all up on YouTube, go check it out. But
at T-Bird Land on YouTube.
At T-Bird Land until I come up with a better username. For now, we just have militia from both players. It's a militia rush mirror. And it looks like Oz going to be the aggressor here. He's going to click man-at-arms. B's actually tried to pull his villagers out to fight with. That probably would have worked if the man-at-arms timing wasn't so soon. B's probably knows that having hit feudal age, his opponent is going to go for those upgrades as soon as he can. Now with 2 scouts, it could be really easy. It could be more easy than usual to get an idea of what your opponent is doing, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like with raw numbers, Blue might actually win any fight that happens here.
Yeah, surprising with the tech difference too.
Is nowhere. Wait, he's having real food problems though.
He
nowhere
is
near feudal age. Just I think because of the constant militia production.
I mean, these bases are so close to each other.
That's also true because I guess of the edge forests.
Yeah.
Players are forced really close to each other. One thing Bees does really well is the building walls. He's really good at making the defended bases and re-walling with houses behind whatever you're attacking. So if he's able to get that safe pockets position, he'll be in good shape. But gets the surround on the Teutonic men-at-arms here and is able to clean them up with some help from some vills. So impressive stuff. And there goes another re-wall. I love he's constantly thinking about re-walling and stuff. It can be very annoying to play against. I just think Squeaky G can attest.
No, quite honestly, it's a strong move when you know what you want.
Some very back and forth matches against Bees last year. But is there a hole here? It looks like it, but he's attacking the house, so it's hard to tell.
I can't tell.
This hill is
honestly.
so steep.
It looks like a hill, but or a wall, but I don't, or a pole, but I cannot tell. You know what? No, Based on the
No.
tiles, no. You can see where the square ends for the tree and where the house begins. Well,
Oh, no, you're right, you're right. Yeah, I've got a little grid. I don't know if the stream can see it, but definitely it's 2 tiles and then the tree in the corner there. So that house is just like very confusingly placed. But house goes down. He's not able to re-wall that one just yet. He's working on palisades around the entire rest of his base. We didn't mention it's very open with these little
I
wood
do
lines.
like how aggressive Gray is being right now. Trying to
being like-
ensure,
yeah.
trying to ensure that he doesn't get the easy pocket sort of feel.
This is true. It's like non-stop.
It's
Still
non-stop
moving in.
harassment, taking away his APM and putting it in a place where it's not going to help him.
I wonder if both of the horses you start with get auto scout, because usually it's only the starting scout that you can click the button.
True. I mean, it looks like they
Probably,
are
right?
auto scouting.
I mean, I
They're
think
kind of
grays
they're
are-
going to the same places.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Big fight though. Random questions aside, Blue I think is maybe gonna clear this up again with Dark Age Militia.
Incredible.
It's just the
yeah,
numbers. And Oz
just the numbers.
looks like he might actually use the Teuton bonuses with this tower. Might also get pushed off of the tower. He's
I
going
will
for a tower rush,
say,
though. Tower place.
with Oz being so far long onto the H2 versus Bs, I'd honestly love for him to just tech up and win almost. Like, because he's just going to lose to masses. Obviously, Blue is building more masses than
Yeah,
Gray
when you have
is.
this kind of advantage, I don't know. I
I'd
guess,
say get your economy better and just
got
push
the-
through.
the villager production a little bit more down than Blue. A tower does go up, doesn't have murder holes. Also, the Teutons, forgot to mention, get murder holes for free at the start of Castle Age, so that's real
Oh,
strong,
that is quite nice.
in a tower battle like this. Takes down a couple of vills from the top of that hill. This is
And you
a
weren't kidding
situation
about
for
his wall situation. He's really just looking to make sure he gets these house walls down.
Yeah. Really going for it there, but still, Oz, he's got the pressure on, right?
Mhm,
But he's not
definitely.
been able to maybe sustain the army as much as he might have hoped. So there's chances for bees here. I think also we're forgetting a little. I am. These militia aren't just normal militia; they're Japanese militia. So they're
Ah.
attacking faster. They're doing more damage than they otherwise would. Tower creep coming in for Oz here.
And I like him putting the the effort over here while he could build the tower unquestioned, basically, just snaking in.
Yeah. Slowly coming in, building another barracks in the front. I guess the do Teutons get like an infantry bonus at all? I don't think so. One of their other bonuses is one of their other techs they can research gives their siege more melee armor.
Yeah.
I think they're infantry.
There's
Unit is
nothing,
infantry.
at least nothing in Castle, nothing in their Civ bonuses that give. Well, their barracks receive extra armor in Castle and Imperial.
Okay,
Oh, and stable. Barracks and stable, my bad.
interesting. Well, no, neither player really looking for Castle Age right now. Maybe Bees, but he may just be floating some resources. He's able to keep the army up, and he hasn't lost. He's lost 6 bills, I guess. Like,
He's done a very good job of holding this back, though.
but this has been a solid containment. Just idle TC time creeping up a little bit. But what did we say about Rust? Here's the blacksmith in market for Gray. So he is thinking about Castle Age soon. And Bees is really going for those palisades, man.
Yeah.
He
Very
wants
much
to
so.
have peace of mind. Unfortunately, we got this whole situation over here. I guess the TC protects a lot of the attacks that would come from the middle at this point, though. I think he also played a lot against players like Squeaky G last year, for example. So he's really worried about the proxy raids and the ram ranches coming in sneakily from the sides. Oz just content to stick to the middle. He's adding some archers now. I like that play, especially if you're
Probably a
trying to
good
build up
move,
food.
yeah. especially against the Japanese, who most likely want to go samurai or whatever they have.
Their unique unit is the samurai, produced out of the castle. Does bonus damage to other unique units. It really does well against most other unique units. It's a good unit. In
However,
that situation, it is fairly situational though.
Bees is getting fletching, which means he's probably going to want to go archers here.
Gray loses another fight here.
Wow.
Blue's pulled all the vills again. Lost none of them there. Really a strong hold here. Looks like Bees will soon have the melee, at least tech disadvantage. Forging coming in for Gray here. I wonder if the fletching is just for the TC and the watchtower, or if there's going to be any blue archers here. Don't see range yet. Actually, Gray is switching like exclusively into archers. I like that a lot. It's a good tech switch.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you said. Maybe could it be they're just building the blacksmith in the market to use them and not to age up? Horrors.
It's possible. I mean, both of them don't really have the food to go.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Oz is holding it now.
17 farms versus 7. Oz will get there a lot faster, but still he's spending a lot of res on armies.
He is, but he's also seeming. Oh, never mind. He got.
There's a wheelbarrow.
Well, no, wheelbarrow.
That'll cost some wood or some food and gold, I think. It's one of those necessary evils. You gotta take wheelbarrow, so I just like don't look at the cost. I'm just like, okay, it's time. Usually with 2 TCs though at that point, but there's a lot of walking time with these farmers, so it's worth in a prolonged feudal fight like this, especially when you've done plenty of villager kill damage to your opponent. And Oz just chipping away at the buildings here. He's actually killed enough houses to house his opponent. So he's gonna have to drop some emergency houses in the back.
15 on wood, so it's not gonna be that much of a struggle to get current with it.
Let's see.
Oh, one of those villagers are on the wrong side of that house. That is unfortunate.
Now he resolves that one. I think there's a hole next to one of those houses. Yeah.
Is there?
Look at this
Oh, there is. You're right. Yeah.
I got an eagle eye. I've seen too many holes. In H. Second tower for blue. Lock down that economy. This army of this happens to me all the time when I get militia rushed or whatever. You can kind of defend against it. You do well enough. You keep it. You stabilize somewhat. Maybe take a couple villager losses, but then they keep adding more and more and more, and then there's suddenly 20 man-at-arms in your base, and they can just kill your town center if they wanted to. So it's a problem you're gonna have to deal with eventually. Yeah,
and that idle TC and eco time is slowly somewhat creeping up on Bees here.
Bees was, I think, looking to take a fight there just as Forging came in for him, which is a great move.
I see.
But Gray does have scale mail armor as well and archer support, so even with the Japanese infantry, I think they're auto attacking the horse right now. Oh,
and Oz is being smart here too by creating holes for himself.
Great fight on the hill. And the surround. Okay.
Oh my gosh, those archers on the hill are gonna go right through that.
Yeah. Good fight there, and looks like B's gonna have to just produce more army right now.
Not only that, but his watchtowers are on the hill as well.
So they're doing extra damage too. This has been just a full feudal game. I love that. Looking to just bypass the watchtower now. Oz knows he wiped his opponent's army. How much more could he have? So he's gonna
Oz
go and try to find
looks like
damage.
he's holding his food though at this point to go 3.
Soon he'll be able to. Anytime now. He's getting a lot of work done here in the wood line. Oh, look at the bodies. There's been a war here.
And that's where he calls it.
Beast calls the game there. Yeah, I think it was pretty much justified to call the GG at that point.
Yeah, I agree.
Oz could have gone castle, had the standing army in the back, but it was a good game and a good fight from Blue.
Very, very good fight.
Those Japanese, we forget how good their infantry are.
Not only that, but I gotta say, Oz's ability to contain the problem in a certain area and sort of just try to just produce from where he can produce was really good to see. Or B, sorry, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Really impressive stuff. And Oz just with a clean, constant aggression there.
Mm-hmm.
What were the units created? 34, 49. He had to make so many more man-at-arms.
Honestly, a very entertaining game too. Fully and feudal.
Yeah, nobody aged up there. Nobody even clicked it. What was the I think the resources collected, yeah, it all kind of started coming up Ozzglaux.
Yeah.
Later the game went.
Yeah.
I think that's just down to like I said at the beginning, a little more time in game recently. He's a little more fleshed out with his.
Not only that, but when you're getting pushed like that, it seems, you know, from hindsight, very easy to, okay, here's what you need to do. But when you're getting pushed like this, it's very difficult to be like, okay, what do I got to do? Like, where am I wasting time? Where can I be gaining time?
That's a good point. There was one moment where they both passed each other, like at this palisade wall, and then Bees turned around and went back home. He won a lot of fights after that, but everything was happening in his base, right?
Exactly.
I think if you force the fights to be in your enemy's base, it's not always easy. It's not always the right.
But it gives you the time to breathe. Yeah.
But it means they have to be thinking more under pressure as well. Really, interesting dynamics. Good play from both. Good moves. In this game 2 of this A-League match between Ozzglaux and Bees Get Degrees, we've got Oz playing as the Khmer in gray on the southwest side of the map, and Bees Get Degrees playing as the Goths in blue on the northeast. These players are pretty clean. They're pretty good. Bees, I think we'll see if he plays more this year. The rust slowly coming off. The practice, the memory returning. Oz won the first game of this match on Mega Random. Very entertaining feudal age stuff. But here we find ourselves on Black Forest with a single choke point between the players. Kind of an interesting one. A lot further away from Bees to get to this like one spot that goes through. But we'll see. A lot of times this comes down to who can get the wall up right there in the middle. And Oz sending one villager out for... She's holding a hammer. I think she wants to build something. I thought she might be going for the boar, but... It's dinner time. Well, rip. See you later, Chewie. Good to have you here. Oh, Oz with the scout. Keeping an eye, finding the enemy's TC. And here comes the palisade wall. B's not really thinking about walling that choke right now. More focused on the starting economy, which in this game, in H2, not too easy. Not too easy to get a handle of. Some interesting, yeah, okay, so let's get this out of the way. What's going on here? We got a couple of stone tiles, we got a couple of gold tiles. These are not accessible by any player. I think they should be grays? Right? Is that... Hang on. Because here's a 3 tile extra gold for blue. Definitely, that's definitely blues. There's a 2 tile stone here. Maybe this is grays. I don't know. Either way, this is odd. Gray actually gonna be walling himself into a little bit of a smaller corner. And wait a minute, why didn't he finish that wall? Did he pull? I think he pulled back for that scout cav while we were looking at the map. Bees falling off that spot right next to his base. Hopefully he'll find the rest of that wide open area. One thing we know about Bees is he does not mind walling more than if he has to. So I'm sure he'll be able to secure things regardless. Current idle TC time is looking pretty high for Bees Get Degrees in comparison. Maybe had a little bit of an issue with this board. It's a little far out from the town center, so it could have been a little bit dicey pulling that one in. Where are the extra boars on this map? Okay, so so these guys are also in a little hidden pocket that no one will ever get to. Good thing. Okay, good thing this stone isn't. No. And we got the extra boars also locked away, so at least it's even. But as far as the boars go, not that the players are really going to take that. They're more focused on the middle, I would say, in this game. Very much early aggression in play here. Bees Get Degrees has a little bit more food in the bank. And it looks like he's gonna go ahead and take that boar out. Did lose a villager to a boar. It looks like, oh, we see him. That poor lad. Be ye not forgotten. Looks like maybe rallied the TC out to the boar, forgot one of them, and then the second one killed it out there. So it's really unfortunate. It can happen. And you're just gonna have to, I guess, take it out in the wilderness. Let's see. Oz knows. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Chat. We'll get to this, but first, Oz knows about this hole. His scout has not pathed towards this area, so he doesn't know it's walled. But he knows a little bit more about the map. Bees actually, unfortunately for him, crossed over the choke point before Oz finished building the wall. Actually, they both did, but there's more to know about. There's more to learn, I feel like, in Bees' base. So his scout is stuck in the enemy base, won't be able to really see so much more of the map on his side. And now we can get there. Oz with the proxy Khmer farmer villager here. Doesn't need a mill. Why not just drop a farm? Snuck her over there at some point in the early game. I'm sure he has big plans. We'll have to keep an eye on that. At least we spotted it this game. Second boar now for Oz as well. Just going to take it under the mill. Why not? You're fully walled. And he's going to triple layer wall this. Keep that economy safe. You know I'm spreading that link in CSGO chat. CSGO? Dead game? Wondering where all your Prime subs came from? Yeah. We're raking in the dough. I think we have... Wait. 4 subscribers? Since when? Silly Seth is one of them. I'll just say that now. I'm sure there are others. There's 4 of them. We don't need to call out our subscribers when they haven't even resubscribed. We don't need, they don't want the attention. But love to see it. Maybe some of them are CS:GO players. Barracks now for blue. He is gonna try to wall this whole thing. There are a lot of holes here. I'm wondering if he has large trees. Seems likely, right? There's always a hole behind the tree. There's actually a hole behind every tree. So it looks like he's working with some less than how do I, not optimal, I guess optimal, but like less sweaty game settings than otherwise maybe players prefer. He'll probably find him though. I'm sure he'll find him. Double barracks now for us. So it's gonna be another man-at-arms game. This is my guess here. Khmer strong eco. They've got options. They can do pretty much whatever they want within reason. And Beast Scout being still trapped on the other side of the map, he might start to wonder where the barracks is for his opponent, but he's not gonna find it over here. Now, on the other hand, if these holes are plugged, we don't need to get into more detail about holes being plugged. There is a full wall, right? So the proxy doesn't really serve as much of a purpose as it might if, say, bees had walled the actual choke point. Oz still able to find out more info. That scout. There's the feudal age. And B's actually close, 30 seconds off feudal age as well, so not bad. He's actually scouting with a militia too. Blue has made 1 militia, 2 militia. He's just trying to uncover the rest of the map. 3 militia. I'll say again, definitely the option is there to play this map on explored. So the fog of war is still there, but you can see how the map has generated. There's no black, there's only gray. That just makes it a little more predictable, I guess. A little less like chance based when it comes to knowing where the choke point is and how your stuff spawns. It's just how the community as a wider whole has decided Black Forest can be played on. But this is fine too. Both players are okay with it, so. Both players in feudal age. Idle TC time very close for both. Res collected though. Let's check what the details are on that. I'm interested. It's gonna be largely food, which is probably down to in part the Khmer farms being so much more efficient. There are 9 farms versus 11 farms. Some of them are just getting placed now though. 12. There's 12 on food here. I guess the berries still count as well. So bit of an eco advantage for gray. It's narrowing though. It's not too significant. And it's gonna be a full spearman rush for our Khmer player. Interesting choice. I'm gonna assume it's just due to a lack of gold, or maybe he wants to get up to castle. Seems like the resources are almost there for both players to go up to castle age. We have not talked about the civs yet too much, besides the Khmer farms. Garrison those vills in the houses as Khmer, if they run into any raids, can keep them safe, but might increase the villager idle time you have to deal with. Their farms are more efficient. They, man, I thought you have elephants, right? Maybe elephant archers. They got, it's the ballista elephants. Yes, the ballista elephant civilization. That's their unique unit that they make out of the castle. Very strong en masse. In, for example, a very boomy game like Black Forest could be a good choice. I think Oz is gonna find at least one of these holes. He's gonna build over it now, I think. With the militia. Oh, you hate to see the big trees in play. Should we turn on big trees, chat? Let's do it. Where's that? Graphics? Enable graphics mods off. There we go. Look, it's fully walled. Look at that. You can't, nobody's coming through there. Now you see what I'm talking about. This too, look. There's no way. There's no hole. There's no hole. Maybe we'll keep them on. We'll experience the full bees experience. It looks way better this way, right? It's like so much more aesthetic. So much more atmospheric. Look at this. Look at this beautiful little lumber community over here. On the other side, bees playing as the Goths. Both players actually housed right now. Different population counts. And Oz has clicked the castle age. He has not. Wait, he's got it behind a villager and he's housed, so it's gonna be a little bit delayed. But actually, well, if Bees had the buildings, he might be able to get up slightly quicker than Oz. Does not have the 2 prerequisite buildings though, unfortunately. Goths. I keep getting distracted. Infantry civilization famously can produce the Ozzglaux, which is a pretty strong melee infantry unit with very high pierce armor. That's not a Ozzglaux, that's just a man-at-arms. Produce the Ozzglaux out of their castle. They produce all, I think, barracks units for cheaper as well, so they can mass those a lot more easily. And they also research some very strong unique techs. For example, Anarchy, which allows you to produce Ozzglaux out of all barracks, and Profusion, which creates them 100% faster. So very much a death swarm civilization once they get their first castle up. Not so much in the way of eco bonuses though. They just recently picked one up. I think it was the sheep last longer or something like that. Something with the sheep. So, or in this case the cows. Could be an interesting matchup if we get ballista elephants versus Ozzglaux, but doesn't look like that's the current plan for Oz. He's just massing spearmen now still. I'm not sure about the reasoning behind that, but you gotta have a reason to make 25 spearmen before you hit Castle Age and before you see any enemy units, right? He has been scouting super effectively. He knows everything about his opponent right now. He sees the entire base. Oz hits Castle, Bees 1 minute and 38 seconds behind. And also Oz has definitely he's run between these walls like 1,000 times, so if Bees is watching it, he knows. I'm sure he's doing a lot of other things though, such as placing 2 more barracks, mining enough stone to get a castle up immediately when he hits the next stage.
Yeah.
Good plays, good stuff. Always go into a game with a plan. Goths are very easy to plan with because you know exactly what you're going to do, basically. Especially on a game like this with a complete choke point. Boom. Expectation. Just make Ozzglaux. And currently, I mean, the army count is there for Oz with these lads. But if it comes down to Ozzglaux versus Spearmen, I think I got to put my money on the Ozzglaux. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna walk through. He actually deleted this wall now, so he is gonna see that. Okay. If there's one thing we've learned here, it's somebody tell Bees to turn on small trees mod. There's the castle for Bees get degrees with 2 villagers. And there's no reasonable way for Ozzglaux. Well, he could deny it, but it would show his hand, you know? Maybe he doesn't want his enemy to know there are 27 spearmen out on his side of the map just yet. Second town center for Bees as well. It's quite a impressive feat getting both the castle and the second TC up. Probably won't be able to go for a third. Actually, he does have the wood and the stone for a third TC if he wants to. But he might also want to use this food to pressure instead of making villagers out of 3 town centers. Oz with the second town center as well in this little corner. Interesting spot for a town center. I would have loved it more near to the gold here and more on top of the deer, but maybe there's too much of a hill, or maybe he just wants to hide it in case any raids come through. Finally, some units getting hits on these scout cav. And he's just gonna sneak right through there. How does he do that? Does he have ghost mode or something? Here comes... Oh! He almost led Bees to a place on the map where he certainly doesn't want Bees to look. Elephants now. Battle elephants coming out for our gray player, our Khmer player. And here come the ranges. Now, what is Oz doing now? He's just walking around uncovering the darkness, and he's going to be in for a rude awakening, but no better time than as early as possible to find out that this is happening, right? This should kick him into overdrive. Gonna need more on food, though. Okay, well now Oz has been found out, so he's gonna move in, try to do as much damage as he can. Keep producing from these. Oh man, look at those archers. Again, an interesting choice from these players. We don't see any Huskarls yet, but Bees is benefiting from the cheaper man-at-arms line, the cheaper militia line, at least. So, Spearmen, Pikemen, not necessarily a great unit at raiding. Take a lot of damage from arrow fire. Don't do very much damage to villagers. Most of the damage is bonus damage to cavalry, but there are a lot of them. And he has gotten 3 villager kills with that, so it's something. Looks like the army will be cleaned up though. Oz is able to take a really good fight here under the TC. Which there's 3 villagers garrisoned there, so not doing a huge amount of damage. But spearmen, when they're not countering something, don't really work out. So we're looking at the eco difference. It's 41-40. This is like one of the closer games as far as that goes we've seen in this whole event. As collected, pretty close. Oz with the advantage. I'm gonna guess that's in food collected. No, it's actually in wood. Interesting. Very interesting. He's been replacing his lumber camps. I knew it was something like that. I like this little hidden niche back here. This guy is safe and he knows it. Back with the blacksmith, working on his technologies. Goes out to mine during the day. See what Bees does now. With crossbows in the mix, the long swordsman won't be the play. He's gonna drop a second castle with 2 vills. And I don't think Oz is gonna push it just yet. Would love to see those Huskarls, but you know I'm kind of crazy about Huskarls. I keep talking about them. Maybe they aren't the play. Who knows? Oz going for stone walls now back at base. He's a little concerned. Does Beast? He does still have the scout. It's been a while since he's walked around though. Could be useful there, but there's a 3rd TC now for Bees Get Degrees as well as that castle. I gotta say. It's looking pretty good for Bees Get Degrees right now. If he can keep these town centers producing, he will outscale the opponent. This TC not in the greatest spot, maybe down here by the woodline and the stone. But what do we say? More TCs, better than no TCs. And it'll be good for farms anyways, so. Could collect, oh, I was just thinking, could collect relics. Here's the monastery. By the way, where are the relics generated right now? One is, we don't need to talk about that one. There are 2 in B's base and 2 in Oz's base, so it's even. We don't need to worry about the one that nobody will ever see the light of day at all there. Still kind of stalling out on the military for Bees. I'm wondering if this is gonna be an Imperial Age play. Seems a little unusual, but he's not being pushed at all, and he's got 2 castles defending both choke points. So there's not really any way Oz breaks this without siege of some kind. Okay, he is queuing more vills. More vills. Love to see it. This other side, Oz been a little bit more. Maybe not. This is Eco KD 3-1. More idle TC time for Oz, but he has a significant villager lead. Chat, do the Khmer produce villagers faster? I don't think that's a thing. I think he had his second town center up earlier, maybe. That could have been what did it. There's Bear. Go for it. Go for the attack. Oh, when he goes down. Rest in peace, little buddy. Town watch now for our gray player. He sees a lot more of the map with that. I gotta say those vision upgrades are underrated. And a full like triple like suburb stone, not stone, houses here. Funny thing with the Chimera, you can actually like house jump. So like if you garrison a villager in here, you can set the rally point to the next house over and like ungarrison and just do that over and over. You can travel through houses. It's pretty funny. Hard to set up and maybe not so much utility, but it is something you can do. Archers now for bees. No, I mean, am I crazy? Chat? Am I crazy? We got crossbowmen for the enemy. Only crossbowmen. Now cav archers. This is a no-brainer Huskarl play, right? Am I reading this right? Goths, right? Castle? Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Bees has clicked Imperial Age. So that is going to be very pertinent in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. We'll see what he does with his Imperial timing. Very valuable to get up there first. And there is one knight going in for Oz, trying to get an eye on things. Doing a little raiding too. He's got to pick off a couple of vills. Keep bees on his toes. Pay no attention to the deer that's trapping a villager. He actually had to shoot the deer to get out, and he paid attention to it too. Incredible. This knight, I mean, Oz just getting. He's really keeping his eyes on things. He's got great awareness of what's going on in his enemy's base. This whole game, I've been really impressed with that. Really good stuff. I think Bees might have sent a unit out as well to try to see what his enemy's making. Now we're moving into pikemen. I guess he's just shift-clicked a million pikemen, isn't he? No, oh, that's why I heard so many military creation sounds. Finally, the Huskarls are here, baby. Now these bad boys are exactly what you need in this pinch. Pikemen, not so much. But we'll see how the numbers do. For Oz, too many spears out to make elephants. I love the crossbows for Gray. I think that's a good move. Just based on what he's seeing the enemy making. If there are too many Huskarls out, he'll have to switch. But for now, that's great. Would have liked to see maybe some siege workshops earlier for him. But the guy serves 3 volleys from this many units. Incredible. But it's hard to push a position like this, so I can understand why he would just sit back and mass up some units. And also this rally point is doing Bees no favors. It's just sending them in, unfortunately. Gonna need ballistics for Gray as well if he wants to continue down this archer path. Getting elite skirmisher now with no enemy archers out on the field. Skirms will do well into pikemen, but so will crossbows, so will arbalists, so skirms will do worse against Huskarls. I gotta say the eco is still the same. Res collected. Okay, it's gotta be the farms now, right? How is he doing it? Same amount of villagers, more efficient economy, and on all fronts. The farms have to be helping. You just put less on food and you put more on other stuff. That's a cope from me that I can't explain why. Let's compare the bases here. I guess there's no mining camp for this gold, so that's very inefficient mining. There's a lot of those just kind of stuck there. Unfortunately, the pathing in our game is it leaves things to be desired at times. Bees fixes this rally point, builds more houses. Population is 140 to 138. This is as even as these two players have been in this match. It's really impressive. Two-handed swordsman now coming in for Bees. Town watch coming in for Bees. Imperial Age 1 minute away for Oz. Trebuchets being produced now out of the 2 castles. I don't think this castle for Gray will last too long unless he wins the fight with the army. There are not a lot of Huskarls out here. Depends kind of on the micro. And it's really rough for this blue army stuck behind the wood line. Not enough units looks like for blue, but what's left is Huskarls, and maybe we'll tell him something. It's 3 town centers for both. I was added one back in this little wood pocket. I love it. And there's Imp for Ozzglaux. Let's see. Here come the Trebs 5 in queue in that castle. We'll see if Blue has what it takes to push this back. He is making Trebs earlier, but he also needs to make his units out of that castle, out of those castles. And this Trebuchet is unfortunately going the wrong way. Gonna get picked off. That's an expensive loss. Lots of wood, lots of gold in those. There is still gold left. There's plenty of gold left for both players to not really worry too much about that. As far as resources goes, still stone left for both. Gray actually about to run out of stone. We'll see. Mangonels here, if not Huskarls, would do wonders. As the Trebuchet begins, the lone Trebuchet begins firing. Misses its first shot. Oh, it's hitting the... Oh, he right-clicked on the wall, I think. Yeah. There it goes. Fixed it. So now with this choke point, this is a great fight for the archers. Let's see if bees can handle the army control. I feel like he would win, but it would be close. But more Huskarls never hurts. Eco is swinging a little bit in favor of Oz. Bees housed again. As the Goths, he has the ability to go up to 210 population. But for now, it's looking like Oz has control of this game. Bees, I feel like once he decides to take the fight, he'll win it, but he might not have any castles left by then. And still has stone, but it's threatened. Not mining it either. This game is a lot to deal with, Age. It's a lot you gotta think about all the time. I'm not trying to say he should be mining the stone. I'm just... It's like... You can't be doing everything. We can be watching everything, so... It can be revealing to have your game watched back by a capture age user. Both players, Oz keeping up the villager production a little bit more. Trebuchet's coming out for blue. He wants to push this castle. Does he knows the castle's there, right? Yeah. Okay. And we do have full champion tech, just really expensive to get to, but very strong. Only long swordsman for Gray. Blacksmith upgrades are definitely looking relevant for both players. Goths, of course, don't get the final infantry armor upgrade, but neither do the Chimera, it looks like. That's why that's black box right there. And Oz wants to move in, but I don't think he's going to like how this goes. As this castle is being trebbed, and I think it will go down. There are 5 trebuchets here. Bees has not researched Anarchy, so he can produce no more Huskarls out of barracks after this castle dies, unless he makes another castle. Oz has 1,800 stone, by the way. These Huskarls, they're doing work. Castle is firing on the fight, though. And I think it will be enough to win that fight. Champions are very expensive. The eco is there for blue, but he's gonna have to keep reinforcing. 34 farms. Oh, just double click all the trees on the map. 38 farms. Not all being worked. 33, 54. 54? Okay. Am I crazy? He just said 54 on food right there for a second. What are these? We're moving down to the next gold pile. Producing more units. I think at least perfusion would have been good here, but we'll see. B's going for the counter attack. Oz with now Arbalester. Great choice against the champions. Honestly, bold move. Bold move, Cotton, but it's working. Still, no ballistics though. That's hurting the damage output. And I think if there's enough resource banked and enough stream here, Bees might clear this. Not yet though. He wants to mass up a little bit more first. Still afraid to lose those trebs, and he's adding in more pikemen, which just are not gonna work here. I like the castle at home from Oz. He's just trying to secure things back here a little bit. Nice compact base. Is gonna run low on gold soon. He has one on like this gold up here, but could be problematic. There's only one treb left for Gray on the field, and it's getting counter treb that will probably lose. Blue could also repair the trebuchet. He's going to do it too. 4 trebuchets for Blue now. I didn't realize he made so many. That goes down, and it's rough here, losing so many units to the castle fire. But it's looking like Blue might hold that. Market, University for Ozzglaux. The Chimera also, wow, we have not mentioned it yet tonight, but the Chimera can, they can age up without any building restrictions. Normally you have to build 2 Feudal Age buildings to go to Castle Age, 2 Castle Age buildings to go to Imperial Age or Castle. Don't have to do that with the Chimera. I'm really, it's making me sad to see so many dead champions here. Under the castle fire when there are 4 trebuchets out. But it's a lot to deal with in this game. Oz actually has some sneaky trebs in this little pocket. Will you look at that? Might take out the monastery, get those 2 relics out of his enemy's hands. They also provide a lot of vision trebs, because in Age of Empires 2, units can normally see as far at least as they can attack ranged units. Which is really nice. Makes it a little awkward in Age 4 when your trebs can technically fire further than they can see. It's an interesting mechanic, because it means you have to like scout the area. Oh. Oh. Full onager commit from Oz. Now this is a good play against Huskarls. There aren't Huskarls. It's also a good play against champions. Might need some frontline elephants or something, but they could also just kill if you get some good shots, as long as the enemy units don't get on top of you. I guess any kind of unit in combo to onagers would do the job. Deletes the walls. He's trebbing on the right side, and Oz definitely has control of this game. From here, it looks like villager count is in Oz's favor. Ozzglaux with about 20k resources collected advantage there as well. It's going to be pretty much widespread. Less on the food than I would have expected there, but we got pikemen, onager, arbalester. Not the combo you would have thought to see against Goths, maybe, but maybe I'm overhyping the Goths. I don't know. Arduous, good game night. Gonna need a piece of bees. Hey, that's what I like to see. Bees is kind of a legend, so that would actually be a fun matchup too, honestly. I think your playstyles would be very fun to see into each other. Looks like champions turns out not great against Arbalest. Also without full infantry armor there, and fighting. Well, he took a huge fight here. He's got a lot of value against the skirms. I don't know why he's making skirms. Maybe he's afraid of enemy skirms. Maybe he just had extra wood. Look at the resource bank for these players. It's been a long game. Oz banking so much food, and wood, and stone, and gold. He's not too far behind. It's gonna be all about the production macro. What'd you call that? The ability to control your military production buildings. And it's going to be all about the multitasking here as this game kind of feels like it's drawing down to a culminating point. Oz pushing in with the 6 onagers. Be able to take out a lot of infantry units whenever they can't kill. The arbalists will. 3 trebs also somewhere. Oh yeah, obviously these trebs. Onagers can also cut through trees. That's a change from the original version of the game from 1999. But Oz didn't need to do that this game. That's usually why you see onagers on Black Forest, honestly, in order to cut through trees and make a little path for yourself on your opponent's walls. But maybe a little bit of team killing here, but it's all working out. Hey, oh, there it is. Using the 1 HP onager to cut through, let the trebs in, and this push seems all but unstoppable now for Oz. He's gonna get one last castle up. See if he can defend. See what kind of units he can go for. Seems like the time for Huskarls might be over now with these onagers in play, but kind of comes down to the micro of any of those fights. Pretty speedy little guys, and you could make a lot of them still with the resources there. Pretty interesting. Oz pushing his enemy up into the corner here, though. Completely safe back at home. 6 more onagers on the way. 1 million more on the way. Ran out of gold, though. That's very noteworthy. Back to the fight, sorry. Oz gonna have to find a new source of gold. He might even come forward to mine B's gold. Also, I guess, I don't know. I'm kind of at the nitpicking stage here. Archer armor, ballistics. If you're going for the full arbalist play, could be valuable upgrades to get. Very valuable upgrades, especially ballistics. Makes your units, I think, 100% accurate against non-moving targets. Otherwise, they have a good chance to miss. An even better chance to miss against moving targets. And Beezy's got 1 champion in here killing all these onagers. This is kind of what you got to worry about with an onager play like this with no front line, right? 1 unit can really just get in there and get close, and they can't take them out. It's also more halberdier for Greg. An interesting choice. One thing I can say about these matches, these games, some very interesting and thought-provoking, I don't know, entertaining choices. Leads to some unexpected results too, as far as how they play out. It's just a big crowd of villagers here in the town square of Bees. Enemy on the doorstep. Looks like the arbalists are getting cleared up, and wait a second. Bees is making Huskarls, and all the onagers are dead, and all the crossbows are dead, all the arbalists are dead. Trebs are gonna die. Pikemen, halberdier, they stand no chance. Bees might even re-wall this. Now the economy is about half of his enemy, so we'll see how long this pushback lasts. But he's actually spent all of his res. We've seen players resign without spending all their resources, and sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not. He decides, okay, I'm just gonna at least hold shift and click on the Huskarl button in my castle for a while before I resign. You know, there's a chance here. It's only halberdier for the enemy. And actually the numbers here with these halberdier are gonna be enough to kill. Who thought you would have seen 1 million halberdier killing Huskarls? He's gonna run back. I like this. Fall back to the reinforcements. Skirm's also a good unit to make. I guess if you want a gold trash comp, Skirm's helps, or Skirm's husks. Not bad. Actually, a really good move. Besides any battle elephants. More onagers chopping their way through here. Maybe I should have warned you guys this was going to be a long one. I didn't really think about it at the time either, but I remember thinking, I knew they were playing their match, and then like a long time passes, and I'm like, did they just forget to tell me they were done? Or like, what's up with that? Turns out we're here on Black Forest at an hour 11, and Bees showing no sign of resigning. Oz definitely on the front foot here, definitely not gonna think about calling it at all. Does need gold. That might be the reason for the halberdier switch here. He's mining gold with one villager up here. There's one villager. Could send more up there. There's 2 tiles left. Gonna castle forward and probably hope to take this gold. As he trebs down B's last castle. I think Bees needs to read the. I don't need to say, hey, you should read the unique upgrades that you're using, your cities you're using. There's a lot going on screen, so you can't always take the time. Trebs might get Onager down. It's gonna be hard not to friendly fire this. Could kill 1 million of your own pikemen. Helps, I guess. He's got 16 vills repairing these. Love to see it. And a couple elephants in the mix. 1 Treb remains for Bees get degrees. And it's a Halb v Halb war. Both players with the same access to upgrades. Oz not having the final attack upgrade, but with a staggering eco advantage. That said, Bees is making a lot more vills right now. Oz has called it quits, called it good at a little over 100. He's still working on booming back up a little bit, and he's gonna win those Halb fights. Here come the onagers. Let's see what happens now. Oh, he's scared. And Oz using that stone. He's putting that 16, 1800 stone to good use, dropping some castles on the enemy. Good place. Onagers killing everything on the battlefield, but it could be worth it. Res collected. Look at that difference. How is Beast still in the game with that? Incredible to hold this long. And he's still not completely dead, right? He's pretty close to dead. There's no gold left, except for the one that these enemies currently doing like an offsides maneuver into. But you know, we're still fighting. At the end of the day, there's still a fight to be had. Bees is gonna have it. Woodline's getting real long, big guy. Sun's getting real up. Okay, it's not 2016 anymore. And honestly, when you're on the front foot like this, personally, I kind of tend to let my foot off the gas as far as some of the details go. Feeling a little confident at this point in the game. Oz doing a good job of keeping up the pressure, making whatever units he can, and it's gonna be a big battle elephant switch. Love to see it. And he's going back into Arbalest with the remaining gold. Have we seen a market use here? 9,100 wood sold for 12,100 gold. Incredible. That is more than most people see in an entire game of Age. All gone, just like that. Second mining camp? Why not? He's putting that resource to good use. Where are the Arbalests, though? Where do you queue them? I think it's just a production building thing. There's only 2 buildings producing them, so it'll be a while for them to come out, but once they do, there will be 20, 30, 31 Arbalests out on the field. All against Halberdier. Should be easy going for them. Now, there are some skirms left for these, but not many. Only 2, in fact. These get degrees. Driving down this castle. Oz somehow has 1,000 stone again. He's also cleared up this castle. Oz dropped. Ozzglaux selling 8,000 wood for 1,100 gold. We're really seeing the market come into play here as the players are both running out of all gold, and this gold not available, this stone not available, unless they should so choose to scout that. This gold may be a little too close. I think Oz might look to take it now, but dang, these halbs are really doing work. The elephants will die horrible deaths to halberdiers, but the arbalesters should clear them up. Still missing that ballistics is really hurting though. Like, you see how many shots are missing here when they walk around. It's really unfortunate. And the turns have tabled. I mean, so far, yeah, right now in this moment, Bees is taking a much more valuable fight. Oz losing a lot of high value units. And for what? He does have 14k food though. Bees cannot say the same. He's still fighting though. He's still streaming units in. We got skirmishers. We got halberdiers. Those skirms lacking a few upgrades. Lacking ballistics still on that side. And Oz still trying to get the finishing blow in. 4 trebs are here. He's trying to repair that, I think. Yeah, with 1 vill. So there's 1 villager mining this gold up here. How much is left in here? I don't want to click the castle. 786 gold. One thing, Oz actually made the monastery and then didn't collect the relics though, so he's been missing out on that relic trickle. I think, okay, he has 1 monk here, but he's been busy. He's been busy on the other side of the map, so he'll probably remember at the end of the game when he looks back. Also, it doesn't make much of a difference since Bees is also not collecting any relic gold. His monastery was trebbed down earlier. Chat, I had to go. I'm gonna be transparent here. I had to go to the bathroom before this game started. Not gonna lie. I was thinking, dang, I should have taken a break. Hour 24 minutes later, here we are. Good, it's only 9:30. We can carry on for much longer than this. Definitely gonna be a break after this game though. Okay, B's still making the odd extra villager. Maybe a chance to come back. There's been a little bit of a lull here in the fighting. I think Oz wants to make sure he can finish things. And his next tech switch is going to be into hand cannoneer. He's also going to try and take this goal. Should be fairly doable. With Bracer researched, it's definitely within range of the castle. So hand cannoneers will also do a great job into halbs. And arbalesters will also doing it well. And he finally got ballistics. Okay, I think it's over now. We have ballistics, we have full hand cannon. These units could be in the fight, but they don't need to be. And actually, B's collecting those relics back again. Let me check the relic gold collected. I'm interested. As the fight rages on behind us. Where would that be? 1,300 gold. That's not nothing. Starting TC for Bees goes down, and he says, that's my loss condition. I'm calling it now. What a fight. This guy has got some fight in him. That was a good game. That was a fun game to watch. GG to both players. 194 halberdier made from Oz. 234 champions. That is so many champions. The bad news for Bees was that they were pretty much hard countered from the moment he clicked champion upgrade. Arbalests, crossbows being the unit of choice for Oz, besides those halbs. I guess just, I don't know, those halberdier just count as bodies for the machine, extra, just something extra to clog up the fight, but they did their job in the end. Oz takes the match with 12. Is it a 124,000 resource? There's an extra digit there, right? Yeah, 124k Res collected from our winner there, 70K from bees. Somehow, I don't know how the economy was so much more efficient. It has to be the farms. It has to be the Khmer farms. Just pretty close from both. 8 p.m. similar. Bees with actually no, it's close. 25-17. If that, I don't know. Again, it's a mystery. It's a black box. However, that's measured.